chaotic mass, and with the Spirit of God brooding over the dark vapors. So are you seeing where the world began? Huh? Unaona vile ilianza? Before God created anything, that is how it was. The scriptures is using words like shapeless, formless, chaotic mass. But as I said before, God was very what? Intentional. This was its state. But then it changed from this state to what we see right now, or to what we later see in the book of Genesis, as he now goes on to create, right up to creating man. Look at man. Genesis 1:26 says, let us make man in our image and likeness. Let them have dominion over the fish over the sea, over the birds of the air, and over every living creature that creeps upon the face of the earth. He thought, let us make. And he didn't just say, let us make man, then make man, and then wanaanza kulizana, sasa huyu atakuwa anafanya nini? Ama tumemtengeneza wa nini? No. Even before the actual creation, he thought out, what did he want with man? Are we together? So, looking at the world today, I want you to think about the world today. From this place where we have read the scriptures, where it has talked about the earth was without form, it was void, and darkness was everywhere. The earth was formless and empty. The other words it has used is shapeless and a chaotic mass. But then I want you to think about from there, and I want you to think at the way the world is. What do you see? You see a very clear plan. You see architecture. Are we together? The earth iko na mpangilio. It is properly planned. It was properly designed. The other thing is you see design. You don't see chaotic mass. You don't see madhogodhanios. You don't see things that are just done for godhari. See, those are the names you know. Siyo ndio majina mnatumia. What do you see? You see order. You see architecture. You see design. You see what? Beauty. So that tells you it's possible to be here now, to see the beauty in your mind now, but to actually end up actualizing what you are seeing in your mind in the future. Kwa pamoja? Is it making sense? Sawa sawa? Because before he comes and says, let there be light, and there was light, we are being told the state of the earth before then. But you see, God pictured and visioned and went into putting into place what he wanted to see. Man, when you think about man, let's now stop thinking about the world. Let's think about man. Man was fearfully and wonderfully made. So that let us make man, he actually went and made man. The book of Psalms says, I am fearfully and wonderfully made. That word fearfully made, what does it mean? It means God took time to very carefully create man, and he did not want to make a mistake. He wanted man, as he was creating him, to be perfect. Tell your neighbor, you are wonderfully and fearfully made. That means God took time. Huh? Wacha hizi vitu mnaambiwangwa, huyu kama anaumbwa God alikuwa fresh. Aliumbwa asubuhi hakuumbwa saa. You get? No, forget it. Those are lies from the devil. The word of God says we are fearfully and because it is trying to compare and trying to say that there are some people who are not kama Mungu anaomba alikuwa amechoka. There is nothing like that. The word of God tells us we are fearfully and wonderfully made. Can you tell your neighbor you are fearfully and wonderfully made? So as believers, I'm just using those principles to teach us something. We have to develop the ability to operate, yes, in the present where we are now, but there is an internal focus inside of you. There is an internal focus and drive towards an unknown future. You are thinking about 3 years from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now. But you start thinking about those 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. You start thinking about them now, and you start planning now, and you start doing something about, not now. You're not doing about now. You are doing about the future or about tomorrow. That unknown future. Are we together? Let me give a small example. As you're bringing up a daughter, you have no idea. You may never know whose wife she's going to be. But as you are raising her up, how are you raising her up? Knowing one day she will be who? She will be a wife. So what do? You consciously and deliberately, even though you do not know whose wife she will be, you are raising her up as a girl, knowing that one day she will be somebody's. Mnaelewa sasa? Mmeanza kushikanisha what I mean? Yes. Abraham obeyed the commands of God to move into a country and a place without knowing the details of where he was going or what would happen to him when he arrived. So how does it begin? It begins by you obeying God in the small. You don't know their value. Are we together? So Abraham is told by God to leave his father's land, leave his father's country, and go to a place. I will show you. He's not even being told where he is being taken. But what did he do? He obeyed. So one of the ways in which you plan for your future is by obeying God in the small instructions that you are given. And God will speak to you sometimes through your pastor. Or as you sit down and you're listening to the word, there are certain things God will tell you. God will speak to you. As you obey those, you don't know what you are doing. I was young like you, even younger than you. Told you my journey with God began when I was in Sunday school. So where did my obedience begin? From Sunday school. And that obeying God step by step, stage by stage, is what has brought me here now. So let's read Genesis chapter 12, verse 1. So we see him obeying the commands of God to move into a country and a place without knowing the details of where he was going or what would happen to him when he arrived. He just left, not knowing where he was going or why he was even being told to leave. Genesis 12:1 says, Now the Lord said to Abram, Get out of your country, from your family, and from your father's house, to a land that I will show you. He's just told a land that I will show. So when was he going to be shown? Was it still when he was still in his country? No. But he had to he had to pack and leave. And as he's going, finally God is able to tell him where he's supposed to go. Verse 4. Let's jump to verse 4. Verse 4 says, So Abram departed as the Lord had spoken to him. And Lot went with him, and Abram was 75 years old when he departed from Haran. It begins. If you're going to craft, the future will not be crafted when you get into the future. The future will be crafted now, as you obey now. as you follow those small instructions that you're doing. Because some of you may never know where you will be. Are we together? So Percy tells you, read the word, pray, read the word, memorize the word, pray, what? One day you may wake up and you discover God is sending you to another country. And in that country, Pastor Eunice is not there. In that country, there is no ACC. Are we together? In that country, it may be a country where they don't have a church every 500 meters like in Kenya. So what will sustain you there? What will sustain you? The relationship you have had or you have built in your life over time. Tuko pamoja? You think that is not possible? Go and ask Daniel. Go and ask Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Back home, they were worshiping who? Jehovah God. True or false? One day, kikawaumania, and they found themselves as captives in a foreign land where there was no temple within a kilometer. Actually, there was no what? Temple. So what sustained them in Babylon? The relationship with God they had built while they were still where? Back home. Tuko pamoja? Tuko pamoja? And that's how they were able to survive. That's how, when it came to being thrown into the lion's den, they had developed capacity. That rather than worship, bow to an idol, they would agree to be thrown where? In the lion's den. That is how they developed capacity. That even when the fiery furnace is heated 7 times, they can tell the king, in this matter, we do not have to answer you. We don't even have to discuss with you in this matter. Our God will save us. And even if he does not, we will not bow. Are we together? So you don't know why God brought you to ACC. You don't know why God has exposed you to a church, to a place where you are taught the word of God in day and in day out. You may never know why Percy keeps telling you, know the word, memorize the